Good morning, students. So, today we were supposed to study pressure. In the previous lecture, we discussed about force and the turning effect of force. So, pressure is something that can be defined as the force applied per unit area of a surface. So, you might have observed that or we can take this activity once. See here, they are asking you to press a balloon with your thumb. Will it break? Will it burst or not? No. Just pressing it with your thumb, it won't burst, no? And now what you have to do, you take a pin, a pointed pin, and just push the balloon lightly with it. Okay? This will easily burst the balloon. You might have done it so many times. Okay? So what was the change here? You are now applying a smaller force. Why did it burst the balloon? That was because force also depends upon the area on which it has been applied. Okay, so therefore pressure is defined as the force per unit area, the area that the force that is applied in unit area, that will be known as pressure, right? So what did I tell you? The force applied per unit area. So what would be the formula of pressure? You have to think it yourself. P, if pressure is denoted by capital P, then P is equal to F upon A per unit area. When we say something per unit something, that means we'll divide it with that. So see here, pressure is equal to force upon area. Can you see it? Okay. So pressure is denoted as P. Here they are denoting it by small p. Okay, never mind. And what about the unit? Let us see here. See, the unit of force is Newton, and the unit of area, the SI unit we are talking about, the unit of area is meter square. That means Newton upon meter square. What will it become? Newton per meter square. Can you see it? Okay, and it is also given as Pascal. The unit of pressure is also written as Pascal, PA. Okay, please go with this, go through this examples, these two numerical problems, and that will make things clearer for you. Okay, then increasing pressure. What are the ways in which you can increase pressure on a body? Now see, first let us again focus on this formula. Pressure is equal to force upon area. We have to increase pressure. How can we do that? Increasing pressure. Whenever there is something in fraction and you have to increase it, either you have to increase the numerator or you need to decrease the denominator. Is it clear? Is it clear? Just think it like this: 10 upon 2. Okay, I have 10 upon 2 is 5. Okay, I want to increase this value 5. I don't want 5, I want something else, maybe something greater. Let us increase. I want something greater. Okay, so if I want something greater, I need to decrease the denominator. So decreasing the denominator means my denominator was 2. While I am discussing this, you can use a paper pen, do whatever I am saying. So decreasing the denominator means, let us make it 1. So 10 upon 1 will become 10, right? Or I said increasing the numerator. If I make the numerator 20, I don't touch the denominator was 2, let it be 2. I increase the numerator, so 20 upon 2, that becomes 10. Okay, so this value has changed from 5 to 10, right, in this case, and in both the cases I have changed the value from 5 to 10. So either of the two I have to do. Either I increase the denominator or I decrease the I I have to increase p. So either I decrease the denominator or increase the numerator, right? That means in order to increase the pressure, either I increase the force or I decrease the area. Okay, now increasing the force means I have to do more work, right? Suppose I had to burst the balloon with my thumb. Increasing the force meant I have to use so much of force, and even then I don't know it will burst or not. Okay, then another thing, what could I do? I could decrease the area. That I did easily using a pen, isn't it? So let us come to this topic, increasing pressure. So we need to apply a large pressure to cut or pierce an object. This is done by reducing the area over which the force acts. Okay, so reducing the area is a better option. Increasing the force will make us do more work, then there is no need use of using anything, no. So the tip of a nail, pin or needle has a very small area. Have you noticed it? When you take a needle or a thumb pin, okay, their uh, tip has a very small area, very pointed. And have you seen a blunt needle or pin? Just notice its area is bigger than the pointed ones. And can you pierce it into something? It will take a lot of force, isn't it? Then a vegetable knife has a sharp edge. Have you seen a vegetable knife at home? It has a sharp edge. But have you seen a butter knife at home? Butter knife doesn't have that sharp edge because butter is soft. It doesn't need that much of pressure. Okay, so we need smaller pressure over there. So a blunt knife will do. But vegetables need more pressure to cut them. So a sharp area is needed so that while cutting the vegetables we don't have to apply a lot of force. Okay, that is why a sharp knife is needed so that the area is smaller. Weapons such as spears, swords and daggers have a sharp point, right? Same is the thing here. The weapons have sharp point or sharp edges so as to make the area small, which will increase the pressure. Now next thing, reducing the pressure. So in order to reduce the pressure, what do we want to do? We have to increase the area, right? I need more P, then I have to decrease the area. Now I want to reduce pressure. So reducing P, that means I have to increase the area, right? So for this, see the examples they've given. To move through snow, long metal skis or wide snowshoes are used, right? So in order to ski through the snow, etc., they wear longer, broader things, no? Those snowshoes, okay? These are broader, so that this decreases the pressure due to the weight of the person and prevents the feet from sinking into the snow. Okay, if you are wearing the normal shoes, what happens when you walk? Your feet are just sinking into the snow, right? But if you are wearing these broader shoes, what happens? The area on which your body force is acting, that increases and the pressure decreases on the snow, and your feet will not sink now. Then birds that walk on leaves floating on the surface of water have very wide feet. Okay, those birds which walk on water surfaces, floating leaves and all, so they have very wide feet so that the pressure is reduced and they don't sink into it. Camels too have wide feet because they have to walk in the desert sand, So they need wide feet so that their feet are not piercing into the sand every time they walk. Okay, then the straps of your shoulder, you can see figure 3.9. When you carry a bag, the broader the straps are, the lesser your shoulders will be hurting because the pressure will be reduced. Okay, then pressure exerted by gas. Let us see this topic. You may have heard about atmospheric pressure in the context of the weather or in context of mountaineering. Have you heard about atmospheric pressure? Air has weight, so it exerts pressure on everything on earth. This is known as atmospheric pressure. Okay, air has weight, so it will also exert pressure on everything, and that is in the atmosphere. No, the air is in the atmosphere, so the pressure due to air is known as the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so this pressure will be acting in all the directions, right? So for all the gases, if they are contained in a container, they will be exerting pressure in all the directions. And same is the case with liquid. Okay, so all gases exert pressure equally in all directions. Thus, the air in the room exerts equal pressure on the floor, ceiling, and walls. Similarly, the gas in a balloon exerts equal pressure on every part of the inner surface of the balloon. Okay, so see this next paragraph. Imagine a column of air pressing down on your head. The pressure exerted by this column will depend on its mass. Mass depends on density. So, if the density of this column of air decreases, the pressure will decrease. The density of air is the greatest at sea level and decreases as the height above sea level increases. Are you getting these things? See, the pressure that will be exerted on any column. Okay, column means on any, say, a portion of whatever we are talking. So the pressure exerted on it will depend on the mass, right? And mass will depend on density. What is density? Density is the mass per unit volume. So if we are talking about a column, we have to talk about density, no? How much mass is there in that particular volume. So if the density is more, pressure will be more. If the density is less, pressure will be less. Okay, so up just above the sea level, what happens at sea level? The density of air is more because it must be having some moisture in it, no? So density is more, therefore there the atmospheric pressure is greater, right? And as you increase the height from the sea level, the pressure will decrease. So you might have heard at the mountains the pressure is low, and at the sea level the pressure is highest, and that is 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. This is a very high amount. Can you imagine? 10 to the power 5 means 1 and 5 zeros more. So much of pressure the atmosphere has. So the applications, have you seen it, these type of applications? See example 2.10. What is happening over here? This is a fruity can. Okay, it is filled from inside. See the first one, it is filled from inside. So all the pressure from outside is also acting on it, but pressure of the inside thing is also acting, no? Inside also there is uh, air, or sorry, the inside also there is air or liquid, whatever it is. Okay, so the shape is intact. But see the next one, the the boy is sucking out the air from inside. Then what is happening? When he is sucking out the air, the inside of this fruity can has no what do you say, has no air inside, so the pressure inside will decrease tremendously, and outside there is so much of pressure. That is why the shape of this can will be disturbed. Have you done this? All must have done, na? Just suck out the air from inside and it will just squeeze in, right? Now the next thing they are explaining is, okay, and one more thing, if there is so much of pressure out in the atmosphere and it is exerted in all the directions, then why are we not o- observing that pressure? Do you feel any pressure when you're walking in the normal atmosphere? No. Even though it has a huge amount, 10 to the power 5 Newton is acting on each meter square of our body. Okay, that is because the pressure of our blood is also equal to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, have you heard about blood pressure? So the pressure of the blood is also equal to the atmospheric pressure. So because the our inside pressure is also same, that is why that the we do not feel pressure. You might have heard that on mountains at very high altitudes, what happens? People start bleeding from their nose and ears. That is because there the atmospheric pressure becomes very low, but the pressure of our body was same, no? It won't change like that. So what happens? The inside pressure is so much that the blood starts coming out, right? Things flow from higher pressure to low pressure. Okay, so the blood starts coming out of the body. So okay, let us discuss the last paragraph, that is the process of inhalation. Let us imagine a balloon filled with a certain mass of air. The pressure exerted by the air will depend on the density of the air. If you increase the volume of the balloon, the density of the air will decrease. So the pressure will increase, right? This is true of all gases. If the volume of a particular mass of gas is increased, its pressure decreases. The opposite is also true. If the volume of a particular mass of a gas decreases, the pressure increases. Thus, when we inhale, the volume of the chest cavity increases, so the pressure inside decreases and becomes less than the atmospheric pressure. As a result, atmospheric air gets drawn in through the nostrils and the windpipe into the lungs. So, okay, there are a number of things told here. We just now discussed that pressure depends on the density, right? And density is mass per unit volume. If I increase the volume, density will decrease. I just now told you that if you increase the denominator, the whole thing will decrease. Okay, so if we are increasing the volume, density will decrease. If density will decrease, pressure will decrease, right? And if density increases, pressure will increases. So we can also say that if we increase the volume, pressure decreases, right? We will skip the density thing from here. We are directly relating pressure and volume together. Okay, so if we increase the volume, pressure will decrease and vice versa. Okay, so whenever chest swells, the volume increases, density decreases, pressure decreases, and that is why the air which is in the atmospheric pressure, it just rushes inside our body, right? And that is how we breathe. Okay, then the next topic is pressure exerted by liquid. Okay, so see here, can you see the figure 3.12? This is a cylindrical thing. It is the water filled is up to h, height h. Okay, so the volume of the liquid will become area multiplied by the height ah. Okay, and if the density of the liquid is d, then mass is equal to volume multiplied by density, that is AHT. Then the force is mass multiplied by G, the AHTG. Then the pressure is always force upon area, AHTG upon A, it becomes HTG. Okay, so this is the formula which you need to learn, and the derivation also. It is a small derivation you can learn. Okay, so pressure exerted by a column of liquid depends on its height, right? So suppose we are observing the pressure at A. Okay, height, this here you should make it clear, height above that point, right? So A will not be acted upon that much of pressure, but the lowest point will be acted upon this HDG pressure. Can you understand this? Because the water column is below it, so that won't exert that much of pressure. Then second point, the pressure at all points at the same horizontal level in a liquid is same, right? At a particular horizontal level, the pressure will be same. And third point, a liquid exerts pressure equally in all directions. Okay, in all the directions, the pressure will be exerted equally. You can see this activity figure 3.13. Here, they have taken a bottle and pierced a number of holes. In A part, they have made the holes vertically. Okay, so can you see the lowest stream is going up to a very far distance. Okay, jet of water is coming out, so lowest one is going up to very far distance and the upper one is going up to till lesser distance, right? That is because the upper point has a smaller height above it, height of water, smaller height of water above it, so less pressure. And the lowest point is having a greater height above it, so it is having more pressure. And B part, all the points are made at the same level, so all the see the distance up to which the jet is going, it is all at the same distance, right? So that's all about pressure. Thank you, children.